I'm Connor Link, Associate Editor of NBJ, here at the NBJ Summit with Michael Johnson, CEO of Herballife. And Herballife won NBJ's 2011 Large Company Growth Award. So Michael, tell us what this award means to you and why you think you grew so much last year.
Well, I think it's a nice recognition of a company that's sustaining its growth. A lot of sustainable business models being used by our distributors, so we continue to grow. I think the most meaningful part of it is we're growing in mature marketplaces. We're growing in the US, we're growing in Mexico, we're growing in places that we've been in business for 10 and 20 years. And it's really nice to be awarded by the Nutrition Business Journal. It's a very high-level magazine in our area, and I think it's great not only for the company, it's great for a lot of the employees who've worked very hard, and we'll let it be known among our distributor base, the hundreds of thousands and millions of distributors we have around the world, that this has happened to us.
And you know, it's been typical in recent years that the direct selling industry in nutrition has been sort of soft in the United States, but really strong internationally. How would you sort of explain this strength domestically and in mature markets?
Well, we operate through direct sales, through a distributor base, and our distributors are incredibly innovative, entrepreneurial, and they have put into place a model called nutrition clubs. And these clubs are where people come to take a shake every day, a tea, an aloe drink, and in doing so, they've opened up the company to a much wider base, and they've gone deeper in their communities. And used to be that the company kind of skimmed across the top, recruited a lot of people, hoped that people would stay with the business, and some did and some didn't. But our retention rates are so much higher now because these clubs have created a location-based opportunity for distributors to ply their business inside their community, which has created a tremendous amount of growth. We're double-digit growth in the US for the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, are you attracting a lot of new customers into the fold? And what's the best way to sort of garner these new customers into the nutrition industry?
Well, yeah, we are attracting a lot of new customers, which is the key to the growth and the sustainability of this club model. As long as you are bringing new customers in and keeping them, not just bringing them in, but keeping them, and they're finding their own health success in there. Our idea is to trade out fast food for a shake of tea and an aloe drink. And so there are millions of people going into fast food restaurants every day. They don't know what's happening to them in the calorie count, in the fat count, in the ingredients that are in that fast food meal that they purchased. What we do is we expose them to a more nutritious opportunity that create a social environment in there. Sometimes these clubs will have games, Pilates, weight loss challenges, all sorts of things that are happening in there. So it creates a social environment, a nutrition environment, and it creates a recurring customer.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that I've noticed has been successful about your company is it's a system. It's not magic bullets, it's nothing like that. It's solutions that are long-term.
We're not big believers in magic pills. You know, there's a mindset in our company that we want a programmed approach. We want people to have a healthy, active lifestyle. It starts with understanding what you're putting in your body every day. Calorie counts are important to us. We are using sports and fitness as an opportunity to get the brand out there, but also get people's mentality built around the fact that a healthy, active lifestyle starts with nutrition. You've got to get some activity, and then when you blend those two in your life and you keep a discipline about it, you have the opportunity to be a healthier human being.
Mm-hmm. I've also heard that for Herballife, a differentiating factor has been that you've started to help distributors tell the story of where your products came from, what farm they came from, and that's becoming a differentiating factor.
In the last 10 years, we've gone from having all of our product, 100% of it outsourced to contract manufacturers, to about 30 to 40% of our product now produced under our own roof, right to the point where we are going into the fields and growing our own crops. So we have our own tea out program in China. We are growing aloe in Mexico. We're growing soy across the United States, mostly in Illinois. And what we're seeing now is the opportunity to take that even deeper. We call it a seed to feed strategy. And that is taking control of our crops from the moment they're in the ground through the complete processing, as natural as possible through that processing, packaging in our own facilities to make sure that our GMPs are where we want them to be at the highest level, higher than even what the government is requiring, and then making sure that the quality of that's understood by our distributors, and that turns into a story for them.
And so what do you think consumers are really responding to about that story? What's driving people to that story of where food comes from?
Well, if I'm a consumer, I want to trust what's happening. And you know, more and more, it's hard to trust what's happening unfortunately, on the shelves of grocery stores. You know, we're seeing all these different things that are happening, from lettuce, from meats, from tainted foods. You know, not that we're saying that that's the norm, but it's become, unfortunately, the hyper news injected situation. And what we want to deliver is a trust and a confidence in our product. Once our distributors see and understand that and then respond to that, they can take that to the consumer marketplace.
On a global scale, where do you see sort of interest from consumers? I mean, what hot markets are there, and what are they interested in, nutrition-wise?
Well, I think the first thing people that we focus on are interested in is weight management. You know, Madeline Albright works for our company. She does all of our international relations. She said something very interesting to me one time. She said half the world is looking to shed calories, and the other half is looking for calories. And it's a very interesting dichotomy when you think about that. And so we're working with both sides of that equation. If you want to manage your weight, you want to lose weight, and you can replace a 1,000-calorie meal with our 250-calorie meal or 200-calorie meal and have a much more nutritious meal, you're a step ahead. You're 750 calories ahead on that day right away. If you want to add weight, then you start to take our shakes in between meals or as an addition to or through the day. So we can work both sides of that equation with you very, very well. Consumers are responding to the nutrition and responding to the weight loss opportunity. We have consumers now responding to our sports products too.
So, as is obvious, Herbalife is doing quite well. The industry as a whole, does it seem like it's in a healthy place right now?
It should be. You know, our industry is, we just came from listening to some of the keynote discussion, and which was very good, incidentally. And our industry is a very positive industry when done right. I'm a newcomer to this industry. I'm 10 years in from a life before the nutrition industry. Came here because of a private equity situation that bought the company and fell in love with the industry. So I have a newcomer's viewpoint still, and I think what we have to be careful about in this industry is the claims that we make about the product. Are we over-falsifying? Are we telling people that this is medicine, not food, or supplements versus, you know, prescriptive medicines? You know, unfortunately, that seems to happen. They showed a couple ads, they showed a couple things on a video in there just a minute ago, and frankly, it bothers me quite a bit, because we're working very hard as a company to improve our quality every day. Our philosophy in the company is build it better. And as we build it better, we want to see others respond to that too, because all boats will lift in the tide if that tide is pure. Unfortunately, some players in this industry don't see it that way.
So you mentioned the state of the industry, presentation being positive. What else are you looking for at the NBJ Summit? What are you excited about?
Well, you know, I like coming here and seeing faces and people. I think it's going to be very interesting to hear from the FTC and the FDA on Friday morning. I think that's a well done and well thought out program to bring both of those in here. It was very interesting. I saw Dick Durbin's picture up there. I went to see him 6 years ago, because he was really taking on the supplement industry on the floor of the Senate in very difficult manners. And when we were back doing some government relations, I said, let's go see him. And everybody looked at me and said, well, he hates the industry. I said, well, you know something, let's go find out why, and take that face on. And I think that the fact that the FDA, the FTC are here is a very smart thing to do. Let's find out what they really think about this industry, and what are the things on the horizons that we should be looking for and reacting to, not only today, but for tomorrow. Okay,
let's listen to them. Let's create a dialogue. And I imagine you're somewhat familiar with NBJ's content from the editorial side. What do you find useful from a nutrition magazine, from data? What are you looking for?
Well, the thing I like about Nutrition Business Journal, it's simple to read. I'm a simple guy, and it's a quick read for me, and I can get through things very effortlessly in there, and I'm constantly, you know, circling things or emailing people and say, what about this, what about that? We have our government affairs people, we have our manufacturing people, and I don't know everything. And so you guys will be subjects in your magazines that I'm unfamiliar with, and I'll say, okay, bring me up to speed on this, what's going on here, what ingredient are they talking about, is this something we should be looking at? So it's a sourcing mechanism for me, it's a summary mechanism, and it's an industry standard.
Michael, thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you, Connor.
Michael Johnson, CEO of Herbalife.